All right, it's Monday, February 24th. I had a really awesome, long monologue. We were moving slow. The interview was great. And I didn't press record for the first 15 minutes to Emma Lemley. She did a great job. She's had some practice now with the interview, so it's probably going to be twice as good. And we're looking forward to it. Real quick introduction. Emma will do it again. Senior picture from Jefferson Forest High School in Forest, Virginia. ACC first team as a freshman, 710 strikeouts, 2.87 ERA. I'm not going to do that the whole show. 110 appearances, two-time All-ACC academic team, Smarty Pants. Through two straight perfect games, including a 16 strikeout game versus Northwestern and the second perfect game in program history against a ranked opponent. Keely Rochard did it in 2019. Emma, I asked you before. I'll ask you again. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Two quick Hokie haikus from our guy, Pete McGee. Number one, her powers peaking, perfect pitch performances, opponents panic. Good job, Pete. And then also from O'Neal Hagan, who's Ann Hagan's son.
Yes.
See, we missed the excitement of this year's being the first time. But O'Neal Hagan is the one that does our Frank Beamer impressions. He's a legend at the tailgates. He says, "Hey, Emma Lemley, please keep throwing perfect games. I am distant cousin." So this is actually Emma Lemley's cousin.
Yes.
Must run in the family. O'Neal is great. Emma is great. So here we go. You know what I'm actually going to do, Emma? I'm not going to ask the questions that I've heard before. I had a couple questions on here following up from some other interviews. So we're going to go with some new stuff.
Okay.
So first of all, let's go with, you've seen this program grow a ton, from when you came in, new bleacher seats. And I think it's fair to say wrestling and softball, and I'd say women's basketball, are on a completely different level right now on just success year in, year out, consistently in the top 25, consistently not just talked about in the state of Virginia, but talked about nationally. Yeah. Can you just walk me through what it's been like to observe this program grow, be a part of it, and go from, learning from some players who are like, man, we're never going to see another Keely Rochard. We're never going to see another Keely Rochard. But Emma, you've carved out your slice of your own history here at Virginia Tech. So what has that process been like from beginning to end?
I mean, from before, the whole thing of when I committed here in the 8th grade, and then the rule change, and then the coaches changed. I think one thing that really cemented that I still wanted to come to Virginia Tech was since Pete walked in the doors. He really just kind of took this program to a whole different level. Just the amount of research that our coaches do into improving our techniques, improving our mobilities, and just the way that we move, and just kind of the standard that they operate on is, it's so high up there. And I think since I kind of stepped into this program my freshman year, that is one thing that we talk about every year, is just keeping that standard high, and just, working to get that 1% better every day, which I think it's kind of just like a one of the building blocks of our program. But Coach Pete, and now we have Coach Mike, Coach Maymu, Coach Josh, all of them, they expect a lot of us. And I think that is something that, a program needs to kind of skyrocket. And we're happy to kind of do that for them. But just the time and the effort that our coaches put into us getting better I think that is a real difference maker. Oh, I think your mic is off.
Completely rookie mistakes over and over at every turn. You talked about getting 1% better, and I'm going to share the statistic with you. So 2 perfect games. Sam Jesse shared this in the middle of one of them. 0.00005% probability of a perfect game through 12 innings pitched. That's 1 in 2.11 million. So, Emma, I just want to ask you, walk me through that moment, walk me through your mental in that situation. Just the emotional roller coaster of getting that done.
Yeah, I mean, throughout both of those games, I was like very hyper aware of what was going on. In the game right before that, the first game of the season, I had a no-hitter broken up in the seventh, or I guess it's sixth inning, in the last inning, on a bunt, which is probably the cheapest way you can break up a no-hitter. But I think throughout the 5 innings in the first game and then the 7 innings in the second game, it was in the back of my mind of, okay, you know what you got going, just come on, you can do it. But I didn't want to admit it to myself. So kind of like every time I would think about it, I would just be like, okay, shut up, just throw the next pitch. Especially in the second game, in the game against Northwestern, I was like super hyper aware of what was going on. And I was like, okay, if I can just, add on another 3 outs, I can do it. I was trying to like make it not as big of a deal as it could have been. Because I was like, well, that would be like really cool if I could do that, but I didn't want to play it up too much to myself. So I was like, yeah, just get 3 more outs. It's easy. But that last inning, the 7th inning, especially the last batter, I kind of felt my hands start to shake just a little bit. And I was like, okay. I was like, calm down. It's not that serious. If it happens, it happens. I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. But if for some reason the hand of God reaches down and carries that ball to somewhere my teammates are not, so be it. But and it finally did happen. And I was like, oh my God, I was like actually like really shaking after the game because I was like, no way no way I just did that. No way that just happened. And it was a really exciting last play of the game. I don't know if you saw it, but it was I threw a curveball and the batter kind of fell over top of it. And it was low too, so it kind of got past our catcher a little bit, and then the umpire kind of kicked it, and Zoe just launched the ball at first base, and then we got the out, but then the runner ran over Michelle, our first baseman, and so it was just like so much chaos, and we were like, oh my God, are they going to call her out? Are they going to call her safe? And finally they called her out, and everybody was just like, whew. It's so funny to like go back and watch the film because you just see Zoe's face go, okay, everybody. We just kind of like, I saw the whole thing in slow motion and I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
So for somebody, because I think we were just talking about it, one of the most consistent programs in the athletic department at Virginia Tech, a lot of people this year, it's probably, they're maybe on the fence and saying, you know what, I'm going to tune in and I'm going to watch the softball team. This is the year that I'm going to tune in and watch the softball game. Can you give me, I don't know if you're in like a debate class or plan for running for office or something, but if you ran into someone on the drill field and they just so happens to have a bubble above their head and be like, convince me to watch this softball team, what are you saying? What is your sell on this softball team?
Honestly, I think that this softball team is going to surprise a lot of people. If you look at our lineup, we have a very young lineup. Most of the time, 7 out of 9 players in our batting order are underclassmen. They are freshmen and sophomores, but they can ball. And I think this team is just so fun to watch because they can do it all. We have slappers. We have people that bunt for hits. We have girls that hit 300-foot home runs. We have every type of pitcher that you could think of. I mean, I'm a righty that throws rise balls. We have righties that throw drop balls, lefties that throw up, and lefties that throw down. And so, I mean, it's really just we have a huge variety of just like type
like a
of player.
smorgasbord. Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's what makes our bench so deep. And especially through these first few games, I mean, we're still in a kind of preseason, but our lineup has, if you've watched, our lineup has kind of changed around a little bit of where people are playing. But I think it really, and I mean, we're still kind of getting used to playing with each other, but it's going pretty well so far. Still got a few kinks to work out, but I think this team is just really one that can do a lot of different things. And you'll see a lot of different people in different positions and taking on different roles. So, I mean, it keeps it very interesting, no matter what game you're watching us play. So, yeah, I think that's what I would say to somebody that needed convincing to watch a game is you're probably never going to get the same thing over and over again, but it's always going to end in a good result, I would say.
What would you say is your goal as a team and as an individual? And for individual, give me your off the diamond goal, because I'm sure you have some that people will probably ask you about it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, our goal obviously is to bring Virginia Tech its first national championship. And I would say to all of our fans, just like stick with us. This is a very, like I just said, we have a very young team. We're still in preseason. We still have a long season to go, but I mean, we're figuring stuff out really quickly. And I definitely think that, I mean, I know that we can get back to Oklahoma, and we can make a really long run, if not win the whole thing. But personally, I mean, goals off the diamond. After college, graduating this spring,
Congrats.
I think next year I'm going to come back as a graduate assistant for the softball team, and then I want to get into collegiate pitching coaching.
Okay.
I kind of like last year, I feel like I kind of renewed my love for pitching, and I kind of started giving lessons and stuff. And I love, like, I don't know, I love pitching. I love watching other people pitch. And I mean, throughout my time here at Tech, I've had 3 different pitching coaches. So I feel like I've learned a lot from each of them. And as far as like adversity and stuff as a pitcher, I feel like I've been kind of put through the ringer on that, of just like change and stuff that can go kind of wonky as a pitcher in college. And so I think I really want to help other college pitchers and kind of go as far as I can doing that.
Let's go. Did you have other plans previous to last year? Like, one of my questions was going to be, what do you want to do when softball is over? Are you saying you never want softball to be over? Which is totally understandable, but is there something else that you were thinking of doing before you came to that decision?
Well, I mean, I came in to Tech as an engineering major. So that was the original goal. And then I did well in it, but I kind of realized that that's not really what I wanted to do.
Not your jam. It's not everybody's jam. It's hard. If it's hard and not your jam, like that's no fun for anybody.
Not for me. But so I mean, after my freshman year too, I kind of realized I want to play softball for as long as possible, no matter what that means or what it takes. And so I switched my major to, I'm in sports media and analytics, which I love. And so for a while, I didn't know if I wanted to go more the broadcasting route, or kind of then coaching was introduced as an option. And I was like, well, I really like coaching. So I think the plan wasn't always to coach, but that's kind of a recent development, and that's really what I want to do. And maybe if a few years down the road, if that's not what I want to do, I still have the sports media and analytics degree to kind of fall back on. And I mean, that degree, I mean, here at Virginia Tech, this program is it is something different. And I've made so many connections through my classes and through softball, through being a Division I softball player. So hopefully I still have those connections down the road if I ever kind of want to get back into that.
So I wanted to ask you, you do a phenomenal job on the On Deck podcast. And I don't think people realize how hard it is. I mean, I've been doing this since 2000. Pat and I've been doing this since 2019. I've been podcasting since like 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to sit down in front of a camera and just chat, even if it's with somebody that you know. Then like that first year you go through the process of hearing yourself on a podcast, like, oh gosh, is that what I sound like?
Turn it off.
So I'm curious, like, what compelled you to do that? And just what have you learned along the way? Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, we do it through Triumph. Triumph reached out to Emma Ritter and me and asked if we wanted to start a podcast and just, like have our teammates on. We started it to kind of give the fans a glimpse to who we are off the field. Like give them a look into just like things that we enjoy doing, our day-to-day lives, just to show people that, it's not all just softball in school. We do other stuff too. We enjoy other stuff too. But kind of in the first few episodes, Emma Ritter and I would kind of just be like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What can we talk about? Do they really want to know about us like this? Like, okay. But then we actually we really enjoyed having people on, and we kind of expanded it to having Coach Pete on, having some of our coaches, which I know people really enjoyed having Coach Pete on, because I mean, especially with the coaches, nobody really gets to see our dynamic off of the field. Nobody really gets to see us joking around with our coaches, and we joke around with our coaches a lot. But they don't get to see that really on the field. And so I think people really enjoy that. And then now after Emma Ritter graduated, now I do it with Cassie Grizzard. And we kind of take more time to plan out the questions we're going to ask, or topics we're going to bring up, or just different things that we're going to do, and kind of trying to do different segments. We do a media of the week, hey, what are you into right now? What kind of movies, what games, just some different things to kind of switch it up. And we've kind of expanded to having some alumni on, we had Keely on, so that was really fun. And then I think in the future, actually coming up pretty soon, we're going to have an alumni weekend. And so hopefully we can get some alumni on the podcast then. But honestly, it's just it's a really fun bonding kind of experience to when we have some of our freshmen on that we didn't know exactly as well as some others. It's just a good way to get to know them and to kind of get our fans to get to know our new players also.
Yeah, check it out. It's the On Deck podcast, and this is gonna sound corny, but it is really true. Everybody tells you to write things down and everything else, and mine is a lot less interesting than yours would be. Or I always told Liz and Georgia, I'm like, you guys are kind of in the middle of a moment in your careers and your life that you're gonna look back on forever, and to have that documented with those people, because you never know where life is going to take you, is super cool. So good on you for getting that done, and awesome job with it.
Thank you.
Moving on to rapid fire here. They don't have to be that rapid. Again, I tell every guest we have them labeled as rapid fire. They're kind of just random, kind of like y'all's lineup, but you don't know what's going to come. So first one's the hardest one. If you could have dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, who are you having dinner with, and where are you going? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, hard hitting question. Yep.
Okay. I mean, first one would definitely have to be Taylor Swift. I'm a huge Swiftie.
Okay.
Let's see. 2, I'm a really big pop girly, so I think they're all probably gonna have to be pop singers. Been to a Harry Styles concert, so probably have to be Harry Styles, Taylor Swift, and they've dated in the past, so that would be some drama. Maybe.
Other side of the table.
Let's see. Let's see. That's a really hard question.
It is.
A really hard question. I mean, I feel like I have to put a softball player in there. I play softball. I mean, my number 27, that's Jenny Finch's number. That's where I got the number from. So I think I'm going to have to put Jenny Finch in there.
Okay.
Not sure if she's a Taylor Swift or Harry Styles fan, but
have to be today.
Hey.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Last one. That's a big choice. Last one. Maybe. Okay, this is a little random, but favorite superhero is Spider-Man. So and my dad and I have a big thing with Spider-Man, so maybe Tom Holland.
Wow. Okay, that is certainly one of the widest ranging dinners we've had. Where are you guys going to go eat?
Maybe we'll take them to Avellino's.
Avellino's is a good choice. Good choice. Good choice. That answers my question. Is that your favorite bite in Blacksburg?
One of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Avellino's is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest challenge of your career, and what are you most proud of? You can't use the technique adjustment. It's a cop out. Can't allow it.
I was about to say. Biggest challenge. Honestly, this comes from the same year, but it is something different. I didn't really have a pitching coach my sophomore season, and we only had 3 pitchers that season. And so it was kind of a big challenge for me just as a sophomore of, like Coach Mike was kind of stepping in to help us out. Mm-hmm. But he also was coaching a lot of the other girls too. So a lot of it was kind of just having to figure some stuff out for ourselves and having the pitchers support each other. So that definitely was a challenging time. And then, wait, what was the other part of that question?
What was the most rewarding part of your career?
Oh, I think
or most proud of. I'm sorry, same thing.
Yeah. I think the most rewarding part, honestly, kind of also stemmed from that year and just my ability to kind of find my love for the game again in my junior year. Because also at the beginning of my junior year, I had the yips for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Could not throw a strike to save my life. But I think I'm most proud of my ability to kind of work through that and bounce back from that and not totally give up on softball. And it has worked out. It's worked out pretty well. So I'm really glad that I worked through it and I never gave up on it. And that I am graduating from Virginia Tech because wouldn't have it any other way.
Emma, you mentioned you're a Swiftie.
Yes.
Can I get your top 3 Taylor Swift albums? Little bummed we didn't get an album announcement at the Grammys. That's become become kind of like a mainstay. And also, no disrespect to Beyonce, best country album. That was a heinous act.
That was
That was bad.
Yeah.
No disrespect, great artist, but certainly didn't have the best country album.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But top three albums for you.
Mm-hmm. Top is definitely Reputation.
Okay.
I have to listen to I Did Something Bad before every single game. Mm-hmm. And I think my second would have to be Red. I went and saw that concert with my mom at the John Paul Jones Arena. So
good venue. Good venue. Say what you want.
Yeah.
Good venue.
When I was in the 5th grade. So definitely Red has to be my second. I have to pick between 2. I don't know, this might be a hot take, but I think my third is Evermore, which
I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to say I have never resonated with a I'm gonna get crushed for having this conversation. We're gonna have it anyway. Evermore and Folklore are like, you have to put the handshake emoji and then like the entire season of fall with those albums. Like,
exactly.
it does such an amazing job of immediately transporting you into like a season of time. Feel that way about Noah Khan in like January and February, like very cold weather. So yeah, I think Evermore and Folklore are kind of glossed over.
But and especially because like they came out so close to each other too, like within the same year. And I mean, it was during COVID.
You kind of forget which song is on which album. Like you could switch one and you wouldn't know if it came from the other album.
I think there are a few of them that you could probably, but I have to go with Evermore. I think I'm a big fall girly. My birthday's in October. It's my favorite season. And that really just brings out the good vibes for me. That and Red. I feel like those two go together for me. Those are just like fall albums to me.
Big spunk Taylor Swift stuff for you. Did you like the last album? It's grown on me since it's come out. It's not my favorite, but it's grown. At
first, when it came out, I was like just overwhelmed by the amount of songs on it. And I was like, I can never learn all of these songs. Like, and I think for a while I kind of just like put it off because I was like, there's just so many. There's so many.
Then 10 days later, you knew the lyrics to all the songs.
Yeah. Now I know all of them, and it's no, I do have some faves off of that album, but I don't know if that would rank in my top few.
Best environment you've played in.
Definitely my freshman year when we hosted regionals at Virginia Tech. That was, I mean, we had the stands brought in. Every game was sold out. Like it was. That atmosphere was just crazy. And I mean, that championship game against Kentucky, and I don't know if you remember this, but Coach Pete got thrown out of that game because they were calling me for illegal pitches. And Coach Pete is not one to like show emotion during a game, but I remember he turned to our crowd and went, "Come on!" And all of us were like, no way he just did that. And I think that just like fired us up so much. But that definitely has been like, that was the best environment that I've ever played in. So, I mean, hopefully we can recreate that this year. That'd be great.
Speaking of spunk and speaking of yelling, the yell upon the pitch delivery, I mean, that would intimidate me, to be honest. Where did it come from? Do you know that it intimidates people? Are you doing it on purpose?
In 14U travel ball, I joined the Williamsburg Stars Gold. And one of my now best friends, Millie Thompson, who actually played for Clemson, just graduated. She was on that team too, and she kind of grunted when she pitched, and I was like, "That's kind of cool." Maybe I could throw a little bit harder if I did that. And it worked. I could throw like 2-3 mile an hour faster if I did that.
Does she know that you just jacked her swag there? That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you because like go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because like when we were in travel ball, I mean, not many pitchers do that, but here's this team coming in that both of their pitchers do the same thing, and so we did get made fun of quite a lot, but then when we would win, like their coaches would be like, "Shut up, stop making fun of them." So I mean, it definitely was unique, and then it was just something I just could never get rid of because it's just natural now.
I feel like in especially when you're younger, is there like a intimidation factor? The only reason I remember that is because these were lower stakes. It was in like 5th grade and I was playing baseball, and the dude that sat next to me in like homeroom did like this funny thing with his face, and he would do it before he'd pitch. So I'd be up there like literally laughing as he wanted him to throw it. But you think there's an intimidation factor about it too? Do you not care?
I honestly, I don't know if people are intimidated by that. I've heard my friends say that they're intimidated by, or just like, I look really mean when I'm pitching.
You do.
I get on the mound, I look really mean. But I don't know if the yelling has ever played a part into that. because every once in a while, you will have a voice crack when you're doing it, and then it's just kind of like, okay, well, that's embarrassing. I hope nobody remembers that. So they're definitely not intimidated by that.
All right, last couple here. Do you have a Netflix or television show? Anything you're watching?
I have been watching Yellow Jackets right now. Right. My girlfriend and I, that is our thing right now is Yellow Jackets, and it's kind of a freaky show. It's a soccer team, a high school soccer team, and they are on their way to like a national championship, and their plane crashes in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
and there's like it's like they have to survive out there, and then it'll jump to like present day, and there's some like freaky supernatural stuff out there, and it's like it's kind of scary. It's kind of a scary show. So if you're not into that stuff, don't watch it. But
especially with what's going on at the FAA right now, it is freaky stuff. I mean, so last three that I have for you. These are letters from the lunch pail from our listeners. First question, Libby Price Woolwine. What is the best thing you've learned from Keely Rochard?
Oh my gosh. I think like if I wouldn't have had her my freshman year, I probably would not be the pitcher I am right now. I think the mindset was the biggest thing that I learned from her, and just like learning how to stay calm out there. Especially my freshman year. I mean, I went through a lot with those illegal pitch calls, and just having her there to kind of like teach me how to stay calm on the mound, kind of put it in the back of your mind, just like work through it. I mean, I think that has helped me a lot, even through now. And just her taking me under her wing, my freshman year, and just kind of showing me how to navigate our coaches, traveling in season, how long our season is. She was probably like the best support I could have had that freshman year.
This is pretty cool. We got two questions. So Emma, obviously I have two softball like junkies in my life who also happen to be really good at softball. And they both submitted questions. So the first one comes from Lauren Chamberlain Gibson. She is the career leader in slugging percentage for D1, World Series champion in Oklahoma, number one pick for the National Pro Softball. Her question for you is, what does your pregame routine and your postgame routine look like? Love your game.
Okay, thank you. I have a very specific pregame routine. I do my hair and my makeup the same way. Got to do my hair first, kind of have the slick back moment going on. My makeup, I always do it the same way with my eyeliner, and I do it in the same order, same routine. And then this is kind of gross to some people, but I like hotel coffee. Most people don't like this, but before every game, I have a cup of hotel coffee, and because I can't have too much caffeine before a game, or else I'm like tweaking out on the mound. But that one hotel cup of coffee, I think that's just like my way of like getting my mindset right. Okay, it's time to lock in. Then once I get to the field, I put my headphones on. I listen to I Did Something Bad by Taylor Swift, and then just a whole bunch of other songs, whatever comes on next. Some Sabrina Carpenter, some Doechii, she's kind of newer. There's some Metallica in there. There's some Foo Fighters in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this a playlist? You gotta share this playlist. You share it. I want to see how different.
Big range of music. Okay. And then I kind of just go through my pitching warm up, stretch out, do my bands, do my med ball throws, my jumps, kind of just getting ready.
A little bit of this.
Yep, a little bit of that. And then I always, because I throw so many rise balls, my finger splits open a lot, and so I put my cleats on. And then I get my dermal bond, is what they call it, from my trainer. and then I go throw with my catcher. And that is the same routine I have every single time. And I don't know, that just makes me kind of lock in along the way there.
Do you have any post-game routine? Nobody ever asks about that. Like
No.
you go out there,
Yeah.
you crush. Like what is the post-game routine? Ice cream, milkshakes.
I mean, our team kind of has a thing where we don't have any sweets until Sunday. So like Thursday through Saturday, we try to keep it kind of clean.
Mhm.
And then on Sunday we can all have ice cream. But I think post-game routine, I like when I get back on the bus, I like to just put on my headphones and kind of, especially if I've just pitched that game, just like decompress with some just any type of music that I can just sit there and listen to. And then I like to go back, and they'll always like upload our game film to Aware is what it's called. And I like to just go back and kind of watch the game after I've kind of let the game go from my mind. I like to go back and just watch specific moments of like, okay, where did I throw that pitch? Was it actually a good pitch? Did she just get me, or did I pipe that ball? But yes, I guess that's my post-game routine. It's nothing too crazy.
So last one, this comes from Lindsay Crowdis. It's now Lindsay Domain. She's my cousin. She was like a finalist for the Heisman Trophy for softball. So she was the co-athletic conference player of the year and a finalist for U.S. softball collegiate player of the year at Memphis. Baller. When you are on, what do you feel like is your most unhittable pitch? I had to ask her, like, what does on mean? And she's like, that's like a pretty standard sporting tie.
Definitely my rise ball. That is, I mean, that's my go-to pitch. I think somebody said it one of the announcers said it in the Alabama game. I throw it 65% of the time. Feels like more, but definitely rise ball is my go-to pitch. My freshman year, that's actually all I threw. I only threw rise ball.
Didn't throw anything else?
No, it's just
Did
rise
the coaches
ball.
be like, yeah, we gotta spice it up? Like,
yeah. So now I have different pitches, but definitely rise and kind of curve in that little in that mix too. I kind of consider those the same pitch, just different locations. But yeah, definitely my rise ball is it's definitely my best pitch.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for submitting the questions. Emma, I got to tell you, it has been a ton of fun watching you play. It's been a ton of fun watching this softball program. I remember way back when I was in school, Vanessa Gonzalez and that team and everything. Like, y'all seem to have such a tight-knit, like, community of, like, your alumni. Like, everybody's watching that used to be involved, and that's really rare and really special. So, looking forward to watching y'all the rest of the year. Keep up the awesome work on and off the diamond. And where can people find you on social media? Any last message to everybody before we disconnect here? And thank you for bearing with me through the recording issues. Rookie mistake. I'll be better next time.
All good. On Instagram, I am Emma Lemley 27. And on Twitter or X, it's Emma Claire. Don't know how many M's and A's there are, but there are a few M's and A's in that whole handle. But I think my biggest thing, I know I've said this before, but I am just so thankful for the Virginia Tech fans, my coaches, for my teammates, just for sticking by me. There's been a lot of changes in my 4 years here. There's been some adversity and stuff like that, but I don't think there has ever been doubt from my coaches, my teammates, the fans. I mean, there are still the most loyal supporters of me, of our team, no matter what. So I think that is just, I think that's what I'll close on. Just thank you, Hokie Nation, and I really appreciate all of you.
Emma, keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much for the time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.